Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Hey, y'all. It's Mamaw. Glad you could join me this evening. I'll wait till we get a few more on here, and then we will get started. And Lord, hi, Sandy. How are you? Lord, I got some much stuff written on here. I won't even know where to begin. The more I wrote, the more I was scratching off, and I just said, okay, that's it. We'll just go with what we can. Hey, Robin, how are you? Luann, Elizabeth, glad you could join. Hello, Barbara. Let's see, how many is it? Mary, Marell. Let's see. Jody, Janet, Sandra, how are y'all? We're all hanging in here. We had a beautiful day here. Beautiful weather. It was 79. Anna, how are you? You know what a beautiful day it was here. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Monique, Cindy, Christy, Karen, Lorna, Cindy. Well, we're getting a bunch on here. Debbie in Batavia, how are you? That's just up the road a bit. Hey, Linda, how's Looneyville? Mary, how are you? Carrie, Kathy. Oh, good. Everybody's climbing on here now. Hey, Carmel, you made it. See if we just get a few more on here. Hello, Brenda. Oh, you got your poor sitting troublemaker shirt on. All right. Hey, Marcy. Cousin Marcy's joining us. Carol, Michelle, Linda. Hey, Janet. Okay, we got to 100. We'll get started. Hey, Lori. I know these false springs will bite you in the butt every time, won't they? Hey, Genevieve or Genevieve. Hey, Debbie. Nancy, Judy. Okay, everybody's hopping on here real quick now. Cindy. Hey, Judy. I like to greet everybody on my porch, but I must get started because a lot of people quit watching in the after thing on all my greeting. Okay, I got a problem here. Get started with the problem. For some reason, Sassy has discovered that Facebook, virtually every one of my lives, they are flagging in the yellow and holding them. We've emailed, we've asked them why. Why are we being flagged? Is it content? Is it copyright? Have no idea. So we're not going to show any of the stuff that Dylan taught me how to do because we don't know if they think that stuff's copyright. I don't know if they think the signs behind me are copyright. I don't know if they think that my music was or me reading the Constitution. We have no idea why they keep flagging it. Mamaw's having a heck of a time. When they do that, they slow the algorithm down that lets other people know what I'm doing. And I think a lot of content creators who are of the liberal persuasion are fighting that. Because as you probably heard today, CNN has now been purchased by the Ellisons, the same people that bought CBS and Paramount. We've got to be taco friendly because taco's letting the billionaires just run away with the store. So there you go. All the work that poor old Roosevelt did breaking up these big conglomerates so that billionaires wouldn't own us have gone out the window because all they have to do is pay their tithe into taco and they're in. And all taco requires is very friendly media towards him. Bullshit. We're not going to be that way. First thing I'd like for you to do, I read the 6 Americans that had originally been killed and were transferred back to Dover when Taco couldn't take his freaking hat off. We've had a seventh member of our military. His name is Sergeant Pennington from Glendale, Kentucky. So I'd like you all to keep his family in your prayers. Taco wasn't there for the transfer. At least the vice president knows how to properly behave and dress for a dignified transfer. What the news media, and see, this is why Taco was wanting the news media bought up, isn't telling you is 150 troops have been injured so far, enough to where they need medical attention. A lot of them they are sending to Germany for medical care. And I got news for Taco. If you get a brain injury, it's a little bit more than a headache, you sorry SOB. Of course, this is the same man that just thinks that you should just take your ship right through the Straits of Hormuz and not be a coward. Well, lead by example, Taco. You know, it was back in World War II that Roosevelt and Churchill and those guys, they had to go back and forth in the ocean in ships. If you wanted to lead the way, I'm sure that there is a boat captain that would let you get right on the very front of their barge to take it through the straits. Why don't you do that, Taco? Anyway, after saying for weeks that we are at war, that he is a wartime president, Taco got some blowback on some fuel prices. No shit, Sherlock. So he has now been manipulating the market and playing around. So now he says we're not in a war. Our part of the war is over. But to get us some more fuel prices down, he's lifted all the sanctions on Pootie Poo. So don't you think that's what Pootie Poo wanted in the first place? So Pootie Poo has told the Taco that he ought to be okay with getting rid of one Ayatollah Khomeini and getting the other one in, which is his son, and even more conservative than what the daddy was. Taco's little butt hurt he didn't get a choice, but he released all the sanctions on Russia. So Russia's going to make a shit ton of money selling oil again. And because we've been using up all of our munitions in Iran, we're not able to give them to Zelensky. Pootie Poo's now got the money he needs for mercenaries and munitions. So guess what's going to happen to the Ukraine, which was Putin's long game, because Putin's like old Mitch McConnell. He can play chess. Taco and his dementia can't even play checkers. So Russia aids our foe, Iran, feeding them information. And don't forget, Iran was helping Russia out against the Ukraine with munitions. Okay? They're thicker than thieves. But no, we're going to, give Pootie Poo whatever he wanted because, there's something going on with the Taco and Pootie Poo and the Epstein files. I'm like Senator Whitehouse. Don't know what it is, but if it looks like it and it smells like it, it probably is it. There's probably something really there. So anyway, today, if any of you had a chance to watch Taco's news conference, oh, good Lord. So within a matter of just 5 minutes, and I'm not exaggerating, we went to the war is almost over. And we were doing this for other parts of the world. And then he said that, who said it's going to be over soon? It'll take as long as it takes. And everybody's got that look, like, dude, you said it was going to be over soon. He also neglected to tell anybody that while he was on the golf course, and by the way, the reason he couldn't go for the transfer of Sergeant Pennington is he was on the golf course, spent an hour talking to Pootie Poo on the golf course, and then he had to have a fundraiser for Mikey Johnson because, money is the altar of his god, and That's what's most important, not a young man that he caused the death of. But I do digress. So that's what's going on as far as we know. Now, when it comes to Taco's children, of course, you got to remember Taco personally has made $2 billion. Then, God, the money his family's making is outrageous. So the boys got him in on a sweet deal, making them little old drones that the Ukraine was telling them about. So the boys are financing and on the board of directors for a drone company so they can make drones and sell them and make money on U.S. contracts. And they're the sons of the Trump organizations and president. And I mean, come on, will somebody have some hearings? What Mamaw thinks is as soon as we get that SOB out of office, there needs to be a freeze on all of the Trump family assets, period, worldwide, and then start sorting out what was inappropriate and what he stole and where he moved funds around. Because you see, he was playing on the chessboard with his little Lego set of the new ballroom. Did you see that? He still hasn't provided the judge with where the money, the setback money, remember I talked to you about it having to be in escrow? They still haven't provided that to the judge on where the escrow money is and who donated. So there you go. So that's what Putin and Taco have got going on the golf course. Of course, you remember he started this damn war 10 days ago down at Mar-a-Lago at a fundraiser. That was the $1 million plate fundraiser. Don't you feel good that people have that kind of money just to throw away for a fundraiser? And we're all scraping to pay a little bit of taxes, even though they don't have to pay taxes. And we're scraping around for these skyrocketing utility bills and fuel bills. Taco doesn't have to. And our insurance co-pays went through the roof, and Taco doesn't worry about that either. And then, we've got to worry about food prices and things like that. And of course, our income isn't going up, but they had $1 million to spend. I was just so pleased to hear that. There's just nothing like letting an oligarch just rub your face in it, is there? Yeah, just show us what you got. Got 2 yachts. My God, you have to give your kids 3 homes, and most people are looking for at least one home they're not going to lose. And then you got to make sure that the kids get fed because we don't have SNAP benefits or USAID. But by golly, we got to make sure them oligarchs don't have to pay their fair share and that they can buy up all the media. Yeah, I think that's great. So anyway, on the front of the Congress, they haven't got the election results in yet on replacing Marjorie Taylor Greene. But even with that, we had 4 Congress members who lost their primaries. And technically, they don't have to go back to work. They could just say, hey, I ain't showing up, or show up half the time. We have one that went from Republican to independent. So that leaves Mackie Johnson with only one person lead. And a lot of times there's 4 or 5 of them that cross over. So with a one person lead, if he loses that, or another person quits, or them others don't show up to vote, technically, and I looked this up, I don't know if they'll do it, but technically, the Democrats could ask for another vote on who the Speaker of the House is. Now, wouldn't that be interesting midway through if Hakeem Jeffries became the Speaker? That's what Mikey's really sweating bullets about. So, Mikey, if you want to keep your speakership, I'd get my head out of Taco's arse and I'd be acting like a damn Speaker of the House because it's that close. So anyway, I thought that was interesting and I wanted to share it with y'all. Now, I was in such a foul mood last night, I just had to watch me some James Carville because there's nothing like his mudslinging. He's been a hero of mine since the 1990s. So, anyway, James Carville between the F bombs and stuff, and I totally agree with him. I am beyond being kind, forgiving, and loving and opening arms. If I know for a fact that you supported Taco and that you were backing Taco, I'm going to remind you that everything that's befallen upon us is because you voted for Taco. You told us, if we voted for the woman who had a funny laugh, that all this would come to pass. Well, you were absolutely right. We voted for her, and all this shit has come to pass because Taco is completely incompetent. So I do fully intend to remind people. I also fully intend to remind people that we are where we are because of the way you voted on wedge issues and not financial issues. Stupid wedge issues like kids are using litter boxes and transgender athletes. Good Lord, I don't give a hoot because you know what they're doing to schools. We're not going to have any athletic programs to worry about now, are we? Oh, you freaking fools. But the other thing is, he said we need to demand of our Democratic candidates that are running, including incumbents who are having to rub again, that when we win, we want hearings held. None of this we're moving forward. None of this bygones be bygones bullshit anymore. We need hearings. And we're going to start with finding out how we are spending $1 billion to $6 billion a day on a war that nobody knows why we went to war, why that keeps changing, and what we wanted for an outcome. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That'd be number one. Number two, where did Taco get all of this money that he keeps moving around and doing other pet projects? Number three, how do we have all the money for ICE for all of these detention centers they want to buy warehouses about? None of that was in their original budget. Where's that money coming from, Taco darling? And how come we can't have health care and we can't have our Medicare taken care of because all the Taco and the Republicans kept saying is there's no money there? Bullshit. Look at the money he's blowing. I mean, to building ballrooms, putting his name on everything. That man is blowing money. And where is the money for the ships of oil that he confiscated from Venezuela? Where is that money? Exactly. So, yeah, I want to have some damn hearings and I want accountability. And like I said, I want the Trump family's assets frozen. I am done being kind. I am done. I am over it. You know what? Part of being an adult is taking accountability for your actions, something Tacos never had to do. But these damn MAGA supporters, they need to understand we are in this shape, absolutely. And I am not exaggerating, people. We are on the abyss of a depression. There again, study your history. You study the Third Reich, you study what happened with Hoover. That's where we're at, except we're going to get a double whammy. Study your history because if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. And he's got nothing but a bunch of incompetent buffoons. And let me tell you, we got rid of Christy Nalm. Mark Wayne Mullen is even less qualified. And the Senate needs to remember where they dropped their balls off, put them back on, and have some serious hearings because just because the president recommends them doesn't mean you have to confirm them. Now, it is true. He can work the job for 6 months, but eventually he's got to be confirmed. So that's what we need to do. I'm just over it. So we need to make our calls. And make sure you remind them women who still are supporting MAGA, God love them, they're okay with a rapist. They're okay with child molesters. They're okay with anything that he has thrown up at them. Will you just remind them that it was Democrats that gave them the right to vote so they could talk? And it was through democratic policies that they got to where they could have their own credit cards and birth control and have jobs and get divorces and have property rights. Just remind them of that when they're out there supporting Taco, because Taco and Petey Pie with his religion would really like to send us back in red robes and just have one man vote for us because, we're not smart enough. Yeah, remind them of that crap. Let me continue on. Let's see. Now, getting back to Taco's talk today, I wrote this down too. When Taco was saying that the war was complete or it's just beginning, because I told you he couldn't remember. He needs to understand, even if he packed up everything and left, those people in Iran, especially, after we slaughtered 170 children, they have a long memory. They're not fighting. And that's what's got him upset. He had it in his mind. He'd bomb them a little bit and they'd say, "Oh, we're sorry. We're sorry. Can we bend the knee?" They haven't said they're sorry. They ain't bending the knee and they've got a long memory. So, Taco, I think you went and took you a big old stick and you got a hornet's nest going. And the other thing Taco said twice, he was referring to Iranians and talking about the Arab states and all. Taco, the people that live in Iran are Persian. It's the difference between Shia and Sunni Muslims. They're different. That's been the problem in Iraq, that we forced, when we made Iraq, Shia and Sunni, Arabs and Persians to live together. It's a problem. It's kind of like when they tried to put Comanches and Apaches on the same reservation at one time. It didn't work out well. So learn your history, learn who people are, and quit calling them something they're not. People from Iran are Persian. That's all I'll say. And the people that live in India, they're not Arabs either, Taco. Neither are the people that live in Afghanistan or Pakistan. I'm just trying to help you out here, Taco. So just learn a little bit. Anyway, moving along. The other thing Taco's been doing while we're all upset about the war, and we should be, and it is a war, is he can't get over that 2020 election. So first Georgia, now he's out there in Phoenix, Arizona, seizing ballots again. I don't know what he thinks he's going to accomplish or what it's going to change, because you know what? That was certified. You're not going to erase Joe Biden was president for 4 years. I, I cannot understand this obsession with him in the 2020 election. He lost. He lost. Even if he finds extra votes, it's not going to change anything. They're not going to retroactively make you president. It's done. Move on. He's still forcing them, trying to force them in Congress to vote that SAVE Act in. So keep telling them, don't you dare, don't you dare. But they're resurrecting that monster again we thought had tamped down. The other news is that the Epstein ranch is being thoroughly checked again and searched. So evidently, they got enough good information, and this comes from Congresswoman Stansberry. I really like her. She's sharp cookie. And she's just kind of letting them know that they have reason to believe, from evidence that goes way back that was ignored, that there may be bodies. And this may not have been just some kind of wild, off the wall stuff coming out of there. There may be bodies out there. And the fact that he bought 300 gallons of hydrochloric acid really ought to make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. So that's, now let me get some questions here. So that ought to really make you think about that. Okay. Alexander brothers found guilty on all counts of sex trafficking. Yes, and guess what? They are in some real estate dealings with none other than the Kirshners. Ain't that interesting? I hope to God those were state charges and not federal charges. Otherwise, Taco will pardon them. Uh, I do too. She is a sharp cookie. I'm real impressed with her. She is a sharp, sharp cookie. Luann said, "Did you hear Lindsey Graham? Cracker said he wanted to send all those kids." Oh, I know. But I have the perfect solution. I truly do. Those ICE soldier wannabe boys. I think we ought to sit. They want to wear their little masks and their little vests and stuff. Why, since they want to play soldier boy so bad, let's send them. I think we ought to send ICE. They're already paid for. They're already government employees. And I heard with my own ears, Christy Nome said 47 days training. They are fully ready, trained to go. So let's ship them over there. I am sure that there are some people they need to deport over there, don't y'all? So I think that's my answer. Let's see. There we go. Terry says, use the, I know that I'm intrigued. Still can't figure out what's going on with Savannah Guthrie's mom. I mean, she has just vanished without a trace. Said, Patricia said, these mentally ill people need to be deported. What mentally ill people? Yeah, I know. Bless their hearts. But at least it's not as hot as it is in Iraq, although I doubt that he would know the difference. Susie said, Israel is withdrawing from the fight. Thank you, Trump suckers. You're now the target. Netanyahu, Trump, Petey Pie, Little Marco, Jimmy Hamill. See, I won't call him by the right name. Heinrich Himmler Miller should be charged with premeditated murder of Iranian citizens. Here's one thing I did here. So in Taco's speech, he now cannot say that it was not us that bombed the school because it's been definitely defined. It was a Tomahawk missile. If any of you know anything about Tomahawks, they're the big ones you see that are towed. So now he and Petey Pie are saying, well, it's because they stole that Tomahawk. So instantly, Senator Ruben Gallego said, oh, really? Now, if you'll remember, Senator Gallego was a Marine. He said, well, then we need an immediate investigation on how in the hell someone stole a Tomahawk missile from the U.S. military. And I agree with him. So, checkmate, Taco, checkmate. We're going to survive this horrible thing. We're going, oh, sure we are. Because we're tough. I fear for our families. I fear for our country. And we should fear. And let me tell you, I want you to be afraid. But then I want that fear to turn into anger. And I want that righteous anger to make you act. And by that, I mean in a legal fashion. But that's got to make you get active again. It's got to make you hit the streets. That's got to make you use your 5 calls app. That means emails. That means finding you a couple of candidates. And by supporting them, I know a lot of us can't financially support a candidate, but you can do other things. You can make calls for them. You can send emails out for them. You can get friends to gather around and go see them. And all of you get in a car and make a trip and go see them and support them. That's how you support those candidates. And then you show up and vote. They're not delusional. They're idiots. There's a difference. A delusional person is mentally ill. An idiot's just mentally defective. I mean, they're just gone. Righteous anger and good trouble. You got it. Porch sitting troublemakers. It's what my new bumper sticker reads in my new shirt. And that's what we are. Don't think for 1 minute that we gray-haired people can't go cause some trouble. We're the ones who did it. Oh, yeah. They know exactly where it came from. They misfired. It was probably fired by the new AI system that they wanted. And there you go. 13-year-old girl should come forward. But with Taco being the president right now, I do understand why she doesn't. I think she will talk to some lawmakers, but they have got to keep her protected because there's an awful lot of suicides around this whole case. Good, you voted in Mississippi. I hope there was a good turnout. Even in North Carolina, they finally released their numbers. Huge Democratic turnout like never before, just like with Texas. So I hope we are really showing them. Well, Tamara, to get you a porch sitting troublemaker bumper sticker or shirt, just go to my merch store. I'll put the QR code up. Let me see if I can do this now. That is the QR code for that. And you can hit that and change that. There you go. And that's the website if you can't do the merch thing. So how's that? So let me get back here to comments. And I have another comment that I'll put on here. I told you the problem Sassy and I are having. Well, on the beginning, I'm getting ready to do a whole new intro. Do you want my intro music back, or do you want me to stick with reading the First Amendment? Because in any case, we are really in trouble. So let me know what you want to do. Okay. John Bolton said people shouldn't build schools near military base. Oh, John Bolton. That's what gets me about John Bolton, Bill Barr, and those guys. When it counted, they wouldn't come forward. They refused to testify at the January 6th hearings. And then they wanted to sell their book and got all butthurt because everybody said, screw you. No, you couldn't be a man when it counted. I don't care what comes out of your walrus mustache mouth. Don't care anymore. Carmel says music. Sheila says First Amendment. Well, maybe I can do both. I'll have to talk to Cash. I have been working all this past week on oldest grandson and college stuff, and Lord, have they changed things since I went to school and John went to school and putting in for scholarships. Good Lord. Okay. So somebody brought up no kings. We got this. Let me take this down. So don't forget, now I've got the Ohio down there, but this is nationwide. Find your no kings protest. Find one that you can reasonably get to. If you're not real mobile, a lot of them aren't marching. They're just standing in streets and stuff. Take you a chair, be comfortable, go meet people, befriend these young people. Tell them what you did when you were younger. Talk to them. I am amazed at the friends that I have made at these, who you meet. Young people are great. I've told you that before, but you've really got to get out. And what will make your heart swell is the brilliance of Taco and the way he had his people doing parades and being on corners and being in your face. It made all of us think we were alone, that nobody else thought the way we did, that nobody else, looked at things like we do. You're going to find out that a whole bunch of people do. They just stayed home. And we got to tell them there's a safe space. Come on out and we're going to protest. So there you go. Let me see if I can remove that. Okay. Oh, they probably did. They probably did. I think it's real interesting how they're not talking about our service members that have been injured and how they got injured. Okay, Anna, I checked and I'm registered to vote. Very good. What if I get to the precinct and my name has been removed? If you checked and you're registered, then you're good to go. So don't worry about that. You can keep checking. You can even call into the Board of Elections and tell them you want to make sure that your name is valid. Now, if it's been a while since you voted, tell them that you intend to vote in, or should you register again, and you can do that online. So don't be concerned, but if you are, call and actually talk to your director or deputy director or one of the clerks in the board. So there you go. Okay. Luann's making a good girl. No kings, no ice, no war. You got that right. You got that right. Oh, all right, Roberta, I certainly will. Uh, President, now, yeah, that's a lot of the reason old BB got Taco to doing this. Both of them know. The only thing that's keeping the both of them out of jail or out of the Netherlands, which is where the Hague is the fact that they're presidents. BB has already been convicted. So he gets out of there, and that's why he's desperately holding on. Sandy, I encourage people to keep checking. In Ohio, we haven't seen any changes. Good. Thank you for reminding everybody to check. I'm telling you, I do not trust our Secretary of State any further than I could throw him. Susie said the very first Seattle air attacks, wiping out Iran leader home quarter targets, and it included a nearby. Yeah, I know it. I know it. Got another vote for the First Amendment. Thank you. That's very precious to us all. And I'm telling you, with what Taco's doing to the media, this is our last bastion of holding out. Oh, Tamara, go be safe then. You go be safe, girl, and please send me a private message that you're okay. You go be safe. Oh, great. Now, this is good information from Carmel. She said, any of y'all living in Ohio, you will be notified before you're purged. And she should know she's the chair of the Board of Elections. So make sure you do that. So thank you very, very much. Because you have a right to be concerned. All right. Jarrah said, no kings in Gulfport, Mississippi. You want it bigger than the last time. So all of y'all who are from Mississippi area, there you go. You've got an invite. We're getting good with computer, Mama. I am trying, Deborah. I'm trying every day. I spend the whole day on this stuff. But I'm learning. And actually, I could do more. I found out that with this software, I can invite people, and we can do on Taco Tuesday, I can have a guest, and then your questions scroll, and we can kind of do an interchange like that, which I hope to do when I'm out on the porch this spring and summer. It's just Sassy and I got to figure out this whole why we keep getting flagged when I go live. And dadgummit, it can't be because of my language, because I can't hold a candle to some of these people. So I don't know what it is. And they sure aren't telling us, but they're sure holding me back too. Sheila says, ask for a provisional ballot. Yeah, if you're concerned, but yeah, you show up and vote no matter what. Show up and vote. Lori says, what do you think? The Democratic Congress senators band together to get them to establish what we're doing there. They're going to have to do something. Senator Blumenthal came out of a briefing today, and he said he has never heard anything like it. And absolutely, there was some criminality involved in us going there. Well, duh, we knew that. But yes, at least, I mean, they have no reason. They're just unilaterally doing it. And all over the world, in Australia, their parliament just absolutely said, we are locked at the hip with the United States. We've always been their ally, and look what they have done, because we have an agreement that they're supposed to supply munitions if we go to war, and it's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, everybody just make sure you're in a primary, and that's the other thing. Know what your state laws are. Some states have open primaries, which means you do not have to declare a party. Ohio is not one of those. So for those of you who for years have not voted in a primary, either you didn't have anybody, it didn't matter, or you're trying to show you're an independent voter, well, it's time to fish or cut bait. You're going to have to pick a side. You need to show up to those primaries. You need to vote in massive numbers, because what's going to happen if we don't have a good primary show up, but everybody shows up in November, Taco's going to say everything was rigged. Where'd all these voters come from? If we have massive voter turnout in the primaries, he's going to know it's coming in the fall, and he's not going to have a reason. And it's not that he'll have any basis, but anywhere he can sow doubt. So make sure there's plenty of people he can't sow doubt, number one. Number two, a lot of these primaries are contested. And number three, I don't want to hear you bitching in the fall if you didn't show up in a primary to make your choices. So there you go. All right, remember what we said. You got your mail-in ballot approved. As soon as you get it, you fill it out, you turn right around and mail it. Make sure you've saved you back some stamps so you can get it right back in there, and follow the instructions. Make sure your signatures are there. Make sure that your ID information's on there. Make sure it's inside the inside envelope. Follow the instructions or they'll toss your ballot. Okay, Luann. Yes, Luann, I will be in Chillicothe on the 28th in Chillicothe, Ohio. It will be at the courthouse on Paint Street from noon to 3. See, I'll be there with bells on. Might even bring my PA system and try to get everybody fired up. Oh, well, whatever Netanyahu is, his ass is in trouble as soon as he's out of office. Oh. Okay, do you see what Carmel said? She said your purge address in Ohio, and this would be for most states, is your registered address. So if you have moved since the last time you voted, go to the Board of Elections and make a correction. Make sure your address on your ID matches the address you're registering, because a lot of people don't like to pay the $7 and get a new driver's license. So make sure those match. And God help us, if your name has changed, get in there with your stuff, because they're trying to resurrect that stuff again. I'll tell you. You just wait. Okay, Wendy, all of y'all, if you're getting storm warnings, they're not supposed to hit us until tomorrow sometime. But I don't think we'll get it. Okay, Cindy says you're having issues lately with the truth. We're being told and reported versus the truth. Well, it ain't going to get any better with these oligarchs owning our mainstream media either. I have a nurse mouth, an army nurse mouth. Oh, God, I love you, Laura. You and I, we need to go out on the porch and have us a wine. I think we must be kindred spirits. And Bobby cusses for me. Thank you, Bobby. That's what friends are for. Your son's going to DC in 2 weeks for a disability meeting. Pray he will be safe. He will be. He will be. It'll be all right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I know. This is a real struggle. That's why on the beginning I had to go into my YouTube. Those of you who still want to follow me and you may be concerned that Facebook shuts down, I'm not telling you not to follow me on Facebook. But in addition, you may want to go to my YouTube page and hit a follow there too. So if this does get shut down, there's my backup. I'll still be on YouTube. YouTube does not seem to do that to people. That's why everybody, even podcasters, are all merging over to YouTube. I looked at my TikTok status yesterday, and now I'm in TikTok jail until 2035. I can post. I don't know what I've done wrong, but until 2035. So there you go. Okay, are you seeing these comments? You're not doing anything wrong. Did you see these? Or you want me to let them scroll like that? How about that? Better late than never, Toby. And you can always watch it on the replay. So don't worry about that. Michigan primary is the 4th, and you have to declare a party. Yeah, that's the way Ohio is. A lot of states are. To just vote for an Ohio issue, ask for a nonpartisan ballot with no party affiliation, but you don't get to vote for a candidate if you do that. Texas must declare party affiliation a primary, but no, in a general election, nobody has to declare a party. You can vote for anybody. But in a primary, most states, unless it's what they call an open system, and I don't even know about this ranked choice voting thing. Sounds great, but then do you really think people in their especially 70s and 80s and such are going to spend the time to go down through this long ballot and mark, oh, this is my first choice, second choice? I just don't see it. It's just too complicated, especially in states that have big voter turnouts. Well, Misty, that's the way it goes sometimes. You gotta make a stand and show your colors. The incident in Rand. No. We're calling it, this Taco's words, not mine, Susie. It's an excursion. We're not at war. We had an excursion. So there you go. Taco isn't going to make it to November. The guy is rotting from, listen, only the good die young. I just don't, I don't see him dying. I think we're stuck. I like Texas Paul's got a coffee mug that says, "Is he dead yet?" I would love to have Mary Trump. I have sent Mary Trump messages in an email and have no response. I would love to talk to Mary Trump. And the number one thing I want to talk to Mary Trump about is these women that are locked in with Taco and the women that enable Taco. I want to understand that I can understand a lot of things, and I try to be empathetic or be in other people. That is a place I truly cannot wrap my head around. I I try. Maybe I'm an evil person. Um, because I can understand a lot of things, and I've worked with addiction services and courts, and I understand poverty and the politics of poverty. But when it comes to enabling predators or being okay with illegal and predatory behavior, I I just I have a real problem with that. So, but yes, if anybody can get a hold of Mary Trump, I would love to talk with her. That would be outstanding. So let me see what we got here. Do some more. You have finally realized your church and its members are true cult members along with family. So it's me and my porch. And I'm about to sell the house because I can't afford to keep it any longer. And this will probably be my last comment to you. You know, the laptop must be male gender and keeps freezing up, Marilyn. You keep commenting and what breaks my heart is that you are not alone in what's going on. We work hard, we get to a certain age, you think you've served, you think you've saved up, that you've got your retirement laid out, and then you have a moron like Taco and his minions who think everybody is a goddamn millionaire and they can spend $1 million on a plate, and there you are. Or you lose a spouse, you lose part of your income. I don't know what planet these people are living on. But Marilyn, you keep coming back no matter what, because all of us are here for you. Nothing else. This porch community is more than just about politics. It's about a community, and we're all there. We're all here to check on each other. Um, some people can tell you, if I don't see my regulars on here, that I will send them a message to make sure they're okay and what's going on. So please, please, you keep coming back. But yeah, you're probably right. It is a male laptop. Good deal, Diane. And Linda says you cuss. Good, good, good. See, sometimes even Papa says, maybe you shouldn't cuss like that. And I'm like, why? Everybody else does. We're all miserable. How do you not? My blood pressure was 161 over 102 today. And I'm thinking, how can it not be high when you've got Taco in a matter of 5 minutes going from war to an excursion to we're done with it? And who said that? That's true. I'll tell you what, that's one thing I miss about Jon Stewart not being on every night. He used to be my go-to, but you're right. And guess what? They're getting rid of them too, aren't they? Well, hello, Irvit. Or did I say your name correctly, incorrectly? All right. See? Yes, Roberta, the year 2035. Taco Savax seems to be tanking in the Senate. Oh, God, I hope so. And keep telling the Senate, you do this, buddy. You're out of there, because there's enough of us that'll figure out to vote. I don't even know what part of their brain thinks this is a good idea, because it's going to affect their voters. Okay. I don't know what I lost something here. The MAGA hello will turn the tide on them. Oh, yeah, you better believe it. When they've got to live like the average citizen. See, Linda, how can it not? How can it not in this day and age? PewDiePie has been targeted for an audit for abusing the budget. No kidding. But who's going to enforce it? Makes me laugh when I talk to my mom, because she's a very proper lady until she gets mad, and then we see, I get it. I get it. All righty, here we go. Pamela. Well, thank you very much. I'm trying. I am trying. Oh yeah, they all do. And Stephen Colbert, although I think old Stephen Colbert's got something up his sleeve, and I don't think it's going to be being a host. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try to run in South Carolina. That's his home state. And now that Amy Klobuchar is running in Minnesota, maybe Al Franken will come back. Now, that was a shame they forced Al Franken out. But it'll be interesting. Wait a minute. I don't want to hide those. Now I'm missing Dylan. They can believe they're elite until they're not. Here we go. Okay, Susie, you take shelter. Don't run any risks. All righty, y'all. It's been almost an hour. Let me see if I got everything. Oh yeah, we're gonna hang that rotten albatross around his neck, Dennis. You better believe we are. That and what they're doing with school funding and doing away with food security for children and families. That was my drop yesterday. That's why I'm wearing my shirt. Children aren't criminals. Compliments of Sassy. Yeah. We're going to hang that stuff around these Republicans' neck, and they're not going to get away from the stench until that bird rots off of them. What do I have against people in their 70s and 80s? Not a damn thing. But you know what? There gets to be a time when it's our job to mentor and shepherd in younger people. It is our time to be senior statesmen and let other younger people run the country that they will be gifted. We do not need Chuck Ass Grassley in there in his 90s. We do not need people in their 80s being the president of the United States. I know sometimes it takes me a little bit to remember things, and I'm not charged with nuclear codes. Lisa Artrip, I do too. See, only the good die young. I don't even think he's human. Well, I think he does. That's what his excursion is. I mean, and listen, he had a really serious problem. He had bone spurs and he had to go to discos and not get, you know, venereal diseases. That was what was important. My dummy husband, he went to Vietnam. What a fool. And he volunteered to go. Well, that's what he thinks it is. Everybody says his dementia's ramping up. He was this stupid the first time he ran. He was this stupid back in 2016. Oh, well, I do digress. Okay. Oh, well, hello, Leslie. And listen, God bless your government for being so pissed off at ours, as they rightly should be. But I want you to know that the rest of us Yanks love you Aussies with all our heart. Well, now, see, here's the problem. Tacos told all of those boat captains to be brave and just go straight ahead through. And that's why I said that Taco should get on one of them ships with him to show him. That's what a real leader would do. I'm not afraid, and I'm going to show you I'm not afraid. That's leadership. Taco, really, it is. I'm just trying to help you out here. You lead from the front, not the rear. Although maybe you're into rear leadership. We'll have to ask Melania. Okay. Well, oh, you better believe we will. All righty, y'all. So I want you to stay salty. Oh Lord, use them outside voices. You should be making up your posters and signs about now for our No Kings days, and there's going to be plenty all up until then. Start making a plan at things you want to do. Start listening. This weather warms up. You're going to start seeing the people that are running for office going out here more. So make sure that you start listening to them, deciding who you like. If there's some people that you really think are going to be standouts on a national basis, let me know. We'll try to get them on here. Any of you got any pull with some of them? Like to talk to Graham Plattner is one of them up there in Maine. Love to talk to Mary Trump if anybody can arrange that. So anything you all can do, be more than glad to have them on the porch and we'll have a talk. Hopefully within the next few weeks, in Ohio, like I said, it's the bipolar state. Then we'll be out on the porch on beautiful evenings like this and have us a talk. So tomorrow I'll be dropping my latest Substack to my subscribers. Watch your email. March 30th at 4:00 for my subscribers will be our Zoom call. So you might want to mark that down. And then Sunday, as always, is Sunday morning coffee with Mammal. And Lord, I tell you what, I don't even try to type my scripts anymore. This is what I have to do. to keep up. He just keeps on keeping on. And I can't even do my funny stuff anymore. Although I tried to yesterday. It's hard to make humor out of children being locked up and starved to death. But that's what gets people interested in watching Mamaw. And then they find out, wow, she's not that funny at all. So I love y'all. Stay salty. Use your outside voices. Please, please continue to make your calls and send your emails because they log those. They really do work. You'll hear the senators get on there and talk. And a lot of the reason that they are being tepid on some of this stuff is they know what their calls have been and what their emails have been. So I love y'all. And I'll talk to you later. See you in the morning. Bye-bye.